No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's your opinion. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go add up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up,
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to H Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Giggs on football. The football show, which gives you brutally honest opinions, no agenda, and a little bit of analysis sprinkled in for a bit of fun. But what you will get is, as I say, 100%, 100%, he says, fucking hell, got a really bad headache, 100% honest opinions, and we will not sugarcoat anything. It's all good. We love the beautiful game. We love to talk about it. We will whip through as many subjects as we can in the next 45 minutes. But for the next 10 minutes or so, just for all the Welsh viewers, it is going to be focused on England because of the Euros final. We're going to break it all down. We're going to discuss a few little things. And Spain, of course. But look, I'm going to introduce you this way. Rhodri, this is Rhodri Giggs. Welcome. Played for a shitload of clubs. But, mate, it's not coming home. It's not.
Yeah, it's...
but should it be? Should honestly now, right? Should it have?
No, because the best team won it.
All right, I'll put it another way. In Southgate's 9 years in charge, should he have won at least one trophy?
Yes.
With the opportunities and the players that he had.
The one at Wembley, you're at home, you're not against a very good Italian side. Yeah, that was really time to take a few more risks and go for it. But, yes, unlucky.
Do you know what was wild to me, though, mate, watching the Spain game, is when England score, 5 minutes after that, like England are on top, and Spain do look a little bit like, had the stuff and knocked out of them a little bit. I wouldn't say ropey, but they looked certainly as if England could get at them. But within 5 minutes, certainly within 10 minutes, England had a bank of 5, 4, and 1 within 30 yards of their own goal. They just, as soon as they scored, they just dropped all the way back. And unfortunately, that is the manager's tactic, and that is something which is clearly been implemented by him and his coaching staff, because if not, he'd be on the sideline screaming, get up. And it's a common pattern throughout this tournament and throughout his time in charge, that if they equalise or they're winning, they drop back and they try and absorb the pressure, and it just gives the other team the impetus and a foot into the game, and they let Spain find their bearings and get their composure back instead of trying to, they had Ollie Watkins on at that point. They should have been putting him under so much pressure to try and force mistakes. And I just thought it was...
It boils down to, it's little tiny things now that England are not winning. Gareth Southgate, in all that he is as an England manager, he keeps all the players together. There's no egos. There's not like before, like these rivalries in between clubs. Everyone's together. The press are on side. He has a good environment. He's very, very good at getting through the groups and getting into the knockout stages. It's just once you get to that final game, he's just not that good. When I say not that good, I mean the decision making.
Yeah,
it's just We
Not
can
brave
we can all see it, and yes, he got through. Yes, they won the group, but you've gradually got to get better, and they didn't. He kept on plugging away with it, even though players that are coming on from the bench were performing, still kept him on the bench. They'd still come on and perform for him when needed. So it's just that when you get to that final, so we've talked about before, you have your Mourinho's who can get the job done, and you have your Pochettinos who get there but just can't get the job done. But they're still very good managers. They just, they don't take. The great managers, remember Sir Alex Ferguson, I'm sure Pep's like it, they're risk takers.
Yes.
Calculated risk takers.
Brave, mate. They're brave. They gamble.
But it's risk and reward. Usually, I'm a big NFL fan, and there's a lot of people that the statistics say if you go on fourth down, then the percentage you say you're going to win the game. And he doesn't. When they score that, you're on top now. You got 15 minutes left. Let's stamp on the neck a bit and let's go for the throat. No, handbrake. Let's go back a bit. Let's gather our thoughts. No, go for the kill. That's what them great United teams, City teams, all the great teams, they won. They just see blood and just go for it. And he doesn't have that. But everything else, he's excellent at. Very, 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 very good. Just that final hurdle, he just comes short. Better than any other manager's done in the last 50 years.
Yeah,
but
true.
When you get in them positions, you fine lines.
For me, mate.
But Spain gradually were very good every game. Very good, very good, very good. They may have had one bad game where England went, great moments, but never really played well for a full game. Not even for a full half. So no continuity there. So the better team in the tournament was always going to come on top. But England had individuals, very good individuals, that can pull them out of the mire. But it's just that killer blow with 4 or 5 minutes to go. Yeah. And even then, Declan Rice should have scored. See the header coming all the way across. Instead, he's give it one of them. Instead of just going, boom, bottom corner, he's give it one of them. And, So...
just very quickly on Declan Rice, mate, I think he's got off really lightly. I thought he was very poor all the way through the tournament, but particularly against Spain in the second half, he gave the ball away. I think it was 4, maybe 5 times in the first 15 minutes of the second half. And there was very simple passes, giving it away in his own half. And I was just like, and I think I can't remember if I text you or my mate, but I text someone and I said, they're giving the ball away. And he's going to take Manu off because he's not brave enough to take Declan Rice off.
Well, no. Well, I think he was right to take Manu off because Manu was a lot worse. It was just a one game too much for him, or the occasion. I don't know.
I disagree with
that. He wasn't playing very well, and the game was passing him by. So I would thought he should have took Manu off and Kane. Instead, he just took Manu off.
Kane shouldn't.
You've got right. Arteta looks like a very good coach. If he pulled him out of that position, he's done it for a reason.
Yeah.
And Declan Rice doesn't play through the lines. His isn't a great passer of the ball. He's good at driving. Distribution's very good. But I mean, from that quarterback role, not very good at setting up play. yeah, so
he's not going to dictate the game and get
receiving
control
the ball
of it.
in tight angles. He's not that guy. So
Yeah, look,
I
don't get-
would put Manu off, but Kane was a total passenger
Oh,
as well.
mate,
And
he was a passenger for the whole tournament, though, wasn't he?
He was killing England. To be fair, killing him. But then I think he should have brought Toney on instead of Watkins this time. But Toney would have been a better option. But sure, he's the England manager, so and like I say, he's done very, very good. But at that top final hurdle, you've got to get everything right and have a bit of luck. And yeah,
when we did like the preview of the tournament, I questioned that Gareth Southgate's been in that job 9 years, and England don't seem to have a way of playing or a system. And one of the things for me is, as an international manager, I think more so than a club manager, it's important that you have a system and a way of playing, and then you pick a squad that has people who can play that system, but also it's not the first 11. It's having 22 players, 23, 24 players who can just interchange and play that system. And obviously you should have more than one system, more than one way of playing. And my issue is England, or if I was an England fan at least, like for me, I think England are still having the same issue that they had back in the Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard era. They're trying to fit in names, the best players for their clubs, instead of looking at a balanced way of playing. Only taking Luke Shaw as a left-back option was ridiculous, because that completely unbalanced the whole left-hand side, because you're playing Foden, Saka, who does go in behind but likes to cut in as well, Kane, who likes to drop back in, and Bellingham. They all want to gravitate to the same place. You've got nobody running in behind. There's no balance to the team. He played Trent Alexander in midfield in that first game, and I still cannot for the life of me fathom how he thought that was going to ever work. Now, I understand Trent Alexander is a very good long passer and he's a very good attacking fullback, but no one will convince me that he is capable of fulfilling that role that they wanted him to do. And I felt sorry for him. And it's not like me to feel sorry for a Scouser, by the way. I felt sorry for him because I felt like after that first game, he was kind of made to be the scapegoat of it. He was taken off at halftime, and he never really got a chance after that in the tournament. And he certainly didn't get much opportunity in his position where he could do some damage. And I accept what you're saying, that Southgate, he's good at getting them through the group stage, and he's built this great mentality within the team and the players. But I don't agree that he's done a great job. I don't agree. I think particularly since that Italy game, I think he's done quite a poor job. And I think objectively you can pick out quite a few areas where he hasn't made the right decisions and it's cost them dearly. Now,
which ones?
The squad, which I just said there, like he took an unbalanced team, not having any more left backs than an injured Luke Shaw is ridiculous.
Even though Kieran Trippier's done very well there, not letting down.
But I wouldn't say he did very well. He did all right.
No, I said he's done very well for him in the past.
Yeah, no, I accept that. But we all knew that was going to be an issue, having a right-footed left back there. Someone who's right-footed that he can't play on the left. Trying to force Foden, Bellingham, Kane, and Saka all into that area without, look, if you've got Harry Kane in your team now, Harry Kane, the age he's at now, you have to have, and he's your sole striker, you have to have wide players who run in behind, or it won't work. It just physically can't work, because his role now is almost like a deep line playmaker. He drops in and then he looks to play others in, but he's got no one to play to. So you're constantly going backwards. It's so easy to defend against. And all the teams, even the teams who sit back in a low block, they're just edging up the pitch against England, but not in a way where they're going to create space for England to get in behind. They're just comfortable, mate. They're just happy. Or they're all playing 40, 50 yards away from our goal. It's simple, mate. It's really simple. And then, the Trent Alexander thing was ridiculous. And Go on.
I think he went, no, these players are very, very successful at the clubs because they play attacking football.
But they play
That's
systems, mate, as well. Sorry.
I know systems, but it's attacking systems.
Yeah.
It's not defensive systems. So you're asking attacking players to play a kind of defensive system. And it doesn't suit. You haven't got Harry Kane pressing. So there's one person that's not going to... that you can go and press it as a midfielder. And if Harry Kane's just jogging about, which he was most of the game, couldn't run. Didn't sprint. You know, what's the point of having him there? That's partly the manager, but that's partly the player as well. He's got to put his hand up and say, "Listen, I'm not performing. This is the best thing for my team. I need to sit this one out."
Apparently, he's not fit.
Just ran about for 60 minutes.
Apparently, he's not fit, Kane. So should he have been dropped after the group stage for Ivan Toney?
Everyone could see that he shouldn't have been playing.
So
but he's the captain. He's the whole league goal scorer. He's Harry Kane. He's a strong character, a strong manager. But and expect a backlash. But we can all see it. He's not been playing very well.
Burafan says Kane should have been dropped after the first 2 games. The only reason he wasn't is because he was the captain. Ivan Toney was my shout, if you remember. Yeah, and I think that's spot on. Like, I would put this question to you, Rodders, right? After the first couple of games, if he puts Mainu in alongside Rice, he puts Gordon or Palmer off the left, and he plays a left-footed player at left back, whether that was Saka, and I'm on about because of what he had to select. So what he had in the squad with Shaw not being there. He could have put Gahey on the left. He could have gone to the 3 and played Saka as a wing back. You know, there was a few different options that he could have done earlier, which would have given England more balance. Playing Gordon on the left would have given them more balance. Playing Toney through the middle would have given Bellingham or Foden something to link up with and play off. Because Bellingham can't link up with Kane because he's 30 yards away from goal. So,
ultimately they got beat by the better team.
Right, and that's what I wanted to switch to now. Is I thought Spain were absolutely outstanding. They had a little period after the goal, maybe 10 minutes at most, where they did have a wobble, and I did think that England missed an opportunity to get at them. But look, Danny Carvajal was the best right back in that tournament. He was phenomenal, and all these people who say
they missed him in the semi-final, didn't they? They missed him.
Yeah. But all these people, mate, who keep telling me Kyle Walker's better than Gary Neville and he's one of the best right backs of all time, mate, do me a favour.
I just stay quiet on it because he can't cross the ball.
He's fast.
You get him in the last third and you can twist him up. It's just you can't have a race with him. That's it. Yeah. I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
No.
Don't get me wrong, he's a very good player, but he ain't a better.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's like he's a bin man or anything, but like
I can name probably 3 players that could play better right back. They would rather have it. He's quick, and against certain players, like the quick ones, he can stop him. But if you get a tricky winger and get him in the last third, he'll twist him up. And his distribution is terrible. I mean, crosses terrible. He hasn't got a little chip sandwich in his locker. Everything's just zip, zip, zip. He ain't got, he's not got enough clubs in his bag. It's just like a 4-iron or like a 2-iron.
I'm sure you had this as well, but at halftime when Rhodri went off, I had a lot of my English mates texting me going, "Here we go, it's coming home. They've only got one player. Rodri's gone off. This is it now." And then was it Zubamendi comes on and absolutely like dominates the midfield, and he was honestly made to come on at half time for the linchpin of the team, a lot of pressure, and he just come on and absolutely dominated, didn't put a foot wrong. I thought his midfield partner, I thought Danny Olmo was my player of the tournament, mate. I know everyone gave it to the kids, which is fine. I don't really disagree with it.
No, Rhodri got it.
Did he? Rhodri got it in the end. Did he? I saw a lot of
Lamar got young player.
Yeah,
Rhodri got.
Fair enough. But even that, mate, I thought Danny Olmo was the best player in the tournament.
Either or Olmo or Rhodri. Yeah, either two.
But I thought Spain were outstanding, mate. And Nico Williams is a player, man. He is a real player, which I think he's...
Even though Morata doesn't do much, but he runs his ass off.
Do you know what, mate? Morata got a lot of criticism, and he almost became a laughing stock after his Chelsea move, didn't he? Because he had that big move from Madrid to Chelsea, and it didn't work out for him. Where was that Morata when, like, because if he had played like that for Chelsea, mate, wow. Like, honestly, like, I thought he was super. His hold-up play, link-up play, when to drop in, when to stay in the back line, something which Kane didn't do. So, like, Morata dropped in and linked up the play. But when he needed to, he was a centre forward, you know, up against the centre back, occupying the centre backs, and Kane just didn't do that. But Nico Williams was excellent. That kid, let's talk about him again. I know we've talked about him before, but like 17 now, he's getting old. But like he went to that tournament as a 16-year-old kid waiting for his exam results to be. I think he was probably the most consistent performer in the tournament. Like. Every game was excellent.
He was quiet the first half, wasn't he? But then, you know, set up the second goal. First goal.
He gave Luke Shaw trouble. And Luke Shaw, I thought, was one of the few England players to come out with quite a lot of credit from that game.
Luke Shaw got the best of him the first bit of the game, but then, he started growing into it.
And, I thought he was very, very... It's so impressive, mate, for someone who's 16 to be able to have the mentality and the mental strength to play against men. Let's be honest, and let's be clear. He's a kid, isn't he? Like he is a child. To play against men, anyway, takes a certain mentality.
He's year 12, isn't he? So
he's just done his year 11, mate. Just finished year 11. Just done his GCSEs.
No. He's in year 12.
Oh, is he in the first year of the sixth form? I apologise. He'll be going to university soon. He's getting old, isn't he? But
University of Barcelona, which is a very good one.
Yes, indeed, mate. He'll go on, you'd imagine, and do some special things. But Nico Williams, who's a bit older, 23, I was super, super impressed with him in the whole tournament. I thought, because for me, when I had ever seen him before, I always felt like he was very skillful, obviously. But I always thought like he reminded me a little bit of Ronaldo when Ronaldo was younger.
Who do you play with?
I think he plays for Atletico at the moment. I think
Atletico Madrid.
Double check that. I'm not sure. I'll check that because I might be wrong. But he played one of those sort of, not Barca or Madrid. He plays for one of the other Spanish sides. Oh, my screen's frozen. Can you still see me and hear me? Can you still see and hear me, mate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, cool. Like just talking about the Euros generally. I saw Athletic Bilbao. Yeah, I would imagine he'll get a move this summer, mate. To be honest, like very, very impressive. Let's talk about the Euros as a whole, mate.
He'll end up at Barcelona, him.
Do you reckon? Playing on the other wing to Yamal. It depends if they got any money in it. I suppose they always seem to find money, though. They'll just sponsor something, training grounds for next 10 years or something. But what did you think of the general standard of the tournament? Like I saw Reese put in the comments earlier that like the top scorer had 3 goals and it was all a bit.
Well, we've talked about this before. Where are all the top strikers?
Yeah.
Top strikers that we've had over the years. That the top strikers, they're all like wingers now.
They're all like hybrids, aren't they? Even like you look at that guy United have just signed.
No proper goal scorers.
Ivan, like there's no like out and out number 9s, is there? Like Ivan Toney, I suppose, Haaland.
Not like your Lewandowskis, your Kanes. They're dying breed. So if the dying breed. Who replaces Kane when he goes?
I'm a big fan of Ivan Toney, mate. I think he's quality. I think his all-round game, his game is good.
He needs to move though, mate. He needs to move from Brentford though.
Well, he's been linked with your lot, hasn't he? This week.
No, I don't think we'll come now after we've got this player now that
Xerxes.
Yeah, Xerxes. This Euro, probably another defender maybe and a midfielder, and that's us, I reckon.
Well, this side they're gonna have De Ligt and probably Ugarte from
another defender from Euro.
Yeah.
Another midfielder, and that's us, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. Unless they sell like a Rashford or someone like that, I think that'll probably be it. And I tell you what, mate, if you remember, I was talking about that Ugarte from PSG last year, like at the start of last year. He is a proper midfielder. Like he's almost like the perfect replacement for Casemiro in terms of being out and out defensive midfielder. But he's decent on the ball, and I'm a real big fan of him. I think if they get him, it'll be good.
The emergence of Manu helps.
Yes,
but you still need another one in there
because you need that gone six. Don't you? You need a six.
Gone. Amrabat's gone. Is Eriksen still there?
Eriksen's still there at the moment, and Amrabat is supposed to might be coming back as well. But Casemiro's going to go. McTominay looks like he might go as well. So that's 2 out. So you could.
Ambasaka looks like he's going.
Go to West Ham, 15 million, mate. That's mental, that is, by the way. It's crazy. 15. Crazy price, yeah. Unbelievable. But there we go. As such as the football, mate, isn't it? Like in terms of the prices.
This is the old. We're getting rid of the old firms players now, aren't we? So.
Do you know? See, Man City signed Brazilian winger Savinho this morning. Really? Exciting young talent.
There's murmurs of Bernardo Silva on his way out. So,
yeah, apparently City have to sell one player, like one of their big names, to balance the books. That's what I read earlier. Bernardo Silva would be a signing for someone, wouldn't he? I could see him going back to Spain or to Saudi or somewhere like that. Like, you know, he's very, very, very good player, isn't he? Still, even getting on a little bit, but like he's still an excellent footballer who could do a remarkable job for someone. I actually think Wan-Bissaka is a really good signing for West Ham. I think makes a lot of sense in terms of like, wow.
Listen, he's a very good defender. He's just not great as going forward. But
I don't think United should sell him.
I haven't got a bad word to say about him. Really, he's come at a bad time. He's a good defender. One-on-ones are not really many better, but it's just his distribution. It's just not great.
Do you not think that there's other players they should sell before him? Like, because you need a couple of options in each position, and I think him and Dallo are quite good. I can't think of the word I mean, but like, you know, like they're different, so they give you different options for different games.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't be on top of my list. No.
But what did you make of Southgate's decision to take Luke Shaw, and what did you make of Luke Shaw's performances when he came back into the side?
Yeah, he did all right. He did great for us because obviously he's done his rehab and obviously he's back playing now. Obviously, going to have 2 or 3 weeks off, but sure he'll be all right when it's pre-season. It's a gamble, wasn't it? We say that Southgate doesn't take risks. He took one there. It was just, did it pay off? It did to the final because he come on in the quarterfinals, come on in the semi-finals, and then played in the final. So, yeah, it would have worked if they won the last game, but obviously because they didn't. So, but
it's just, it's not even the decision to take him. Like, I kind of understand taking him because as I've said many times, when he's fit, I think Luke Shaw is one of the best left backs in the world. But for me, he had to take another left back, mate. Had to. And if I was another left back, if I was an English left back, I would kind of be thinking, who the fuck?
Name me one.
Oh, I don't know, mate, because I'm not English, so
there isn't any out there. There isn't. Name one.
There must be one. There must be one. Like there must be an English left back somewhere.
Chelsea, Chilwell.
He's injured, isn't he? I think that's the issue.
He's always injured. See him at Monaco though, Grand Prix walking the grid.
Yeah, I bet.
You don't miss that.
Right, I'll give you some options for left back now. I mean, he had Joe Gomez in the side, who's played left back more regularly than
same as Kane.
Yeah, it's the same issue, I guess. So you got Rico Henry. Dan Burn of Newcastle's pretty decent. But he's better than no left back. Do you know what I mean?
No, but Kieran Tripper's done a very good job, and he's a very good substitute, very good replacement until Luke Shaw was fit. He never let him down. They didn't get beat. They won the group. They got to the quarterfinals. They got to the semi-final. They got to the final. Just ultimately, they got beat at the end because it would have been better with a left foot to have that continuity, because it's so different when you're coming out as a left-footed player to see what you see, the pictures you see, instead of being a right-footed player coming out of left back, and the picture's totally different. Do you get me?
Yeah. Oh, 100%, mate.
And to build up play and the way they want to play, it just changes everything. So
it just opens up everything.
Very important.
The way they receive the ball.
It's a very important detail. But
ultimately, I don't think the Luke Shaw gamble cost England, did it? Like, it didn't make them play. Like they did. They played worse because they didn't have a left. What cost them
was Harry Kane. Believe it or not, he was the biggest hindrance from Harry Kane. He didn't perform. We've seen at him at his what he's done this year at Bayern Munich. There was something wrong there, and he should have been the one to stand up and say, "Listen, I ain't performing." Instead, he thought, I'm Harry Kane, and he's probably earned that right too. But ultimately, you've cost your team.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, mate. Mason Greenwood has moved to Marseille. 26.5 million. Look, he is not a 26.5 million pound player. We all know that.
That's why they've got a 50% sell-on clause.
Yeah,
they know that.
And that's about as this relatively clever, I guess, isn't it? Like, you get what you can get now, and then you put a 50% sell-on clause, because if he goes and plays to his ability, he'll go for 100 million in the next 2 weeks.
Well, I don't think he'll reach 100 million because they can always use, but what about his pass?
Yeah, so maybe, I guess.
But who knows? If he scores 30, 40 goals.
That's it, mate, isn't it? It's like there's a point in there where football clubs,
Real Madrid, Barcelona will be sniffing.
Football lost its soul a long time ago, mate, and I think ultimately if his stats are up there, they won't care whoever it is who brings him back.
And they will be, because he's that good of a player. He's had a year out.
Phenomenal.
He's come back, had a full year, have a good pre-season, and he will score 30 goals if he plays striker. Easily.
Mate, in the French league as well.
Yeah, easily.
One
this
defender.
We'll have a look at it and see how many goals he scored, how many assists he got.
And one defender he won't be playing against is the very, very highly rated.
If England, there's your centre forward there.
Yeah, well, that was never going to happen, though, was it? Let's be honest.
No, but now Gareth Southgate's gone. It's a clean slate. He goes away.
Yeah,
and he's scoring 30, 40 goals, and they haven't got a striker to replace him. They won't give a fuck about the backlash. He'll be in. You're good enough. You're in, mate.
So Southgate's...
but he scores 30, 40 goals. He wins the World Cup. All right, sweet. Get him in.
So with Southgate leaving his job straight after the Euros, I don't think that was a massive shock to anyone. But
when you start abusing someone who's done so much for you and give you so many good times, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it was never going to go with it.
Shit at him, getting abused, and when it starts getting personal, he's the most, apart from Alf Ramsey, he's the most successful England manager ever.
Yeah, it's one of them, and like he was always going to, mate. He was always soon as those scenes after I think it was the third group game, maybe. Like he would, that was it when he was done. Just as we are today, without kind of looking into it too deep, who do you think will be the next England manager?
I would like to see Carsley.
Lee Carsley is the next England manager.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
The continuity. That's the model they're going for. Who else are they going to bring in? No, they built the St George's hub. They've done it within the last time, and it was kind of successful. The Spain model have just done it. Under 18s, under 21s. Now he's just won the Euros.
Yeah.
It's that. Unless Eddie Howe says yes, I would take Eddie Howe. Perfect fit for England. Very good with the media. Very good players. Plays attacking football. Been at the highest level for a bit.
What about?
If not, But Eddie Howe's not going to do it. Why would you leave Newcastle Premier League?
Stability, I guess, maybe.
Well, I would go Lee Carsley.
What about Jurgen Klopp?
Who the fuck's Lee Carsley? Yeah. Who do you want to bring in? Jurgen Klopp? Do me a favour. You remember it took him 4 years to make Liverpool successful.
Yeah, but with that, mate, come on, with that squad, you can't tell me that Jurgen Klopp wouldn't have got.
You have to work with him day in, day out. He doesn't get that time. He gets like 2-3 days with him.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's a different.
Totally different. It's a totally different dynamic. Plus, he's German. If they don't go English, what the fuck? What are they building that St George's for? They're bringing coaches as well as players. So if they go outside of England, you've already been down there. Ben Goran did okay, but was against the Brazil team that had 3 Ballon d'Or winners in it. Unfortunately, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and Ronaldo. So, yeah, what can you say? So,
Capello was dreadful.
Fabio Capello was a disaster, an absolute disaster. So if there's or even Pochettino, he's Argentinian. You have a lot. So,
I don't see
Eddie Howe or Lee Carsley. No, he's done well in the 21s. They won the Euros 2 years ago against Spain beat Spain in the final. Lee Carsley was manager, so he's got experience of competitions and winning them. So I would go that model if I was at the FA. Yeah.
Fair enough. As I was saying, one French defender who will not be lining up against Mason Greenwood. It's the very, very highly rated teenager Lenny Yoro, who signed for your lot today. Are you happy with that, mate? Went up against Madrid and pulled it off?
Yeah, very good. So obviously, Madrid couldn't pay the money because we've had some other big signings come in, but 60 games already played in the French league. 6'3", pacey, can play, and he's 18. So, yeah, the French call him the Mbappe of defenders. But yeah,
he's a baller, mate.
It's a different model now. They're doing it, not bringing 30-year-old players for £70 million. There's no sell-on fee. This kid, if he wants to get off in 5 years, which he might want to do to Madrid or go a different country, and he does very, very well. You can double even triple it if he's that good. So there's a sell-on clause, or you can just stay. But no, it's a very good signing. The Dutch kid, this kid, it's all good signs, mate. All good signs. Still,
I sent you a list, didn't I? And I said,
Sancho looks like he's the building bridges there. But we'll see how that goes. Maybe they just want to get him in.
Outrageous that is. If they bring him back, mate.
Yeah.
If they bring Sancho back into that first team permanently, I think it's absolutely outrageous. A player power.
Well, it's clever. It's clever though. Know what they're doing. It was no point in leaving him in the dark, and then they're getting no value for him. So bring him back. If he starts performing, and then get rid.
I do have a theory about why they've brought him in. So I think they still want. I do think they still want to sell him. I think one, if other clubs come in, they can make realistic bids because he's in the first team, and by all accounts, from the outside looking in, he's going to play. So other clubs can't lowball you. And secondly, I think I speculate, should I say, that one of the reasons why Marcus Rashford body language and the way he was last year was because his mate got ostracized. By bringing him back in, if they then, they bring him back in, they kiss and make up, and then if he gets sold,
well, one of them's not going to play because the natural plays.
Yeah, but what I mean is, it might be a way to keep Rashford or get Rashford back on side as well. I think is my speculation.
You need that competition in the squad as well, mate. You need that competition, that high level competition. But if you don't,
Xerxes good, man.
Someone who's very good, he's going to take your place. So
yeah, I did ask you, mate.
If that's the case, then you have to show a good attitude, and try and get back in. It's very, very simple, but some of these egos, they don't like it. So, but yeah, it's a clean slate now with Marcus. So it's a new season, clean slate. He's had probably a tough summer watching England not being there because he's always been there. So
that must be difficult.
We'll see what kind of attitude he's got and where he's at this summer at the start of the season, because he needs to hit the ground running.
If United sign Lenny Yoro, one of the most highly rated young defenders in the world, and Matthias de Ligt, is Harry Maguire questioning his United career again?
Yes, yeah.
Because I know, like, Johnny Evans is signed.
He's not going to play.
No, of course not. And they sold Willy Kambala as well, which says to me that's why they're bringing in de Ligt. And it'll be Martinez, de Ligt, and Yoro will be the first choice three.
You've got to understand, mate. Varane's gone, and who else?
And Kambala's gone at the moment, and obviously Lindelof is rumoured to be going, Wan-Bissaka. So
they need to replace these players, but
Maguire's down the pecking order again, though, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yes. Martinez can play left back, can play holding midfield as well, so he can play a number, but he's better as a central defender, I think. But
I do wonder whether Eric Ten Hag is cooking up a new system, mate. This is what I wanted to talk to you about.
With a free.
Yeah, because when I look at some of the players he's linked with, and I've forgotten who it was now, and my screen's frozen, but the person who linked him, there was somebody reliable linked them with Ivan Toney about 2 months ago. And then that came up again as soon as the Euros finished. So he got linked with him again. And everyone was a bit like, well, why would they sign him because they've just signed Xerxes? But Xerxes can play left, right, 10, up front on his own, up front as a partner. He's very, very versatile. Højlund is obviously an out-and-out finisher. Ivan Toney is more of a complete centre forward. And I was thinking, if you're going to play a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3, having Ivan Toney there would be a very, very clever signing, because you can play two of them, you can manoeuvre them round, but also takes the pressure, mate. Takes the pressure off Højlund completely, doesn't it? Yeah. When you've got Rashford, Toney, all these different options, suddenly no one's worried about how many goals he's scoring or if he hasn't scored for a couple of games. Whereas when he's the only striker there, it's like, oh, he hasn't scored for a game. So I just wonder.
The better the player coming in, the better the squad gets. And that's your aim, to have a very good squad and capable people coming off the bench or starting, either or. Now it's just competition. Who gets in, who plays well, who doesn't.
Graham Potter is favourites for the England job. I just read. Sorry, Graham Potter.
Well, yeah. As a Welshman, I hope that happens.
All right, we haven't had your reaction. Craig Bellamy, mate, did a press conference the other day. Whilst he was doing a press conference, the chief executive of the FAW wasn't in the press conference. He was texting me. Next Friday, Craig Bellamy will be welcomed by a full house of Welsh fans at Splott Cons Club, hosted by myself, hosted by Ace Podcast Nation. It'll be the FAW chief executive, Noel Mooney, the new Wales manager, Mr. Craig Bellamy, myself sat in the middle. We'll be talking grassroots football. We'll be talking, obviously, the Welsh national team. We're taking questions from the audience. To say I'm excited would be a bit of an understatement. And what I want to know, mate, and what the people want to know is, will Rhodri Giggs be in attendance?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. All the big guns are coming.
Splott.
Splott. It's going to be good, mate. I'm really excited about it. It's obviously.
Yeah, I'm off work now, so after tomorrow.
Oh yeah, here we go. 6 weeks.
After tomorrow, that's me for 6 weeks. Handicap's looking sweet as well.
Hang on, did we set you a challenge about your handicap? Did we set you a challenge?
What was the well? Tuesday I shot a 76, and then yesterday I was shot a 75. So I'm cooking on gas at the minute.
What's your handicap?
4.
So I can't remember what we challenged you. I'll have to go. I couldn't even begin to remember what episode it was.
Yeah, I think I said I was trying to get down to 2. That was like a bold statement. But I don't think I'll do that. But I'll get to 3.
Go on, otherwise.
I'm cooking on gas in a minute because yesterday as well I shot a 75, which was better than a 76 a couple of days before. But my holes are usually the par 5s, and it was 3 par 5s, and I bogeyed every single one of them. Oh, it was just So if I cut them out and turn them into birdies, then I'm cooking on gas. So I'll get there. Don't worry about it.
Good man. No, I just go back to the Bellamy thing. Obviously, I was joking about him texting me. Like, I'm just we're really excited about the event next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Even more excited knowing that you're coming down as well, mates. Then it's going to be a good old day. It's going to be a good time, and it's also an opportunity for Welsh fans to welcome the new manager. How do you feel about him taking over as the manager as a Welshman? Like, is that who you would have gone for in terms of what was out there and available? And when Page left, was he on your short list?
No, not really. But it's probably the best option out there, to be honest. When Osher turned it down, then he was probably the only person, really. Especially
it was between him and Henry when they were the two.
Yeah, and you don't want to forget. And he's obviously got commitments at the Olympics for France because he's managing. I'm sure he's managing the French team in the Olympics.
He is. Yeah.
So he's that probably come in the middle of it. And Craig Bellamy, he's a very good player for Wales, very good Premier League player, great career. Yes,
very good coach, mate, as well.
Yes, he was outspoken. Very good coach. Yes, he's been outspoken, but I'm like that. So, he deserves a shot, and we'll all be behind him, I'm sure. But it's I'm excited about it because yes, he's feisty, but totally different now. He's a coach, he's a manager, so he won't have that kind of intensity. It's totally different when you're playing, and the blood's boiling, and something happens, but as a coach and as a manager and as a leader, you have to act a little bit different. I'm sure he will. But
he did it last year for Burnley. He did all the media in the second half of the season, instead of company. I thought then that he was kind of getting ready to have a crack at a manager's job. And Wales have got a pretty good record of when we go with a kind of inexperienced manager or it's their first job, so they do quite well. We're a small country. We haven't got, the money and the options that other nations have. And I think when we've gone with like a young coach who's, done well as a player for us, we've done all right. Mark Hughes did a good job. Gary Speed obviously started the revolution. Your brother, I know he had done the interim at United, but it was his first permanent job. Took him and in all of those cases, by the way, it took them a little bit of time to get going. But once they were able to implement their own thing,
it did. But he was the one to blood the younger lads. Get rid of it was his job to get rid of the old crew and bring the young lads and get them experience. And unfortunately enough, Robert Page benefited from that. So, but
what's interesting as well with Bellamy is that he's very familiar with all the young lads, very familiar with the likes of Ruben Colwell and Isaac Davis and these guys in the 21s who are excelling. He's very familiar with them, so it'll be interesting.
His job's football, and he loves his country, so he's going to be, and he probably, if he backed himself, which he probably does because he's a confident boy. In the back of his mind, I could have that. I could do this job. Robert Page on shaky ground. you know. So he's probably, you know, delved into it more than he would do, because I'm thinking, you know, I could end up with this job. Not thinking it was going to happen, but, you know, few decisions in football, someone loses the job, and next minute you're on the way from Burnley to Cardiff. So, yeah, it's a good appointment for me. I was more than happy when he was appointed. So, doesn't bother me. Like I say, with all these managers that have come in the past that have done this job, have done very, very well. So, I don't think Craig Bellamy will be any different. Just hope.
No, I think he'll play attacking football, mate, as well. I don't think you'll see the same caginess that we saw with Robert Page.
Well, we've seen that with Vincent Kompany, so he's going to have that kind of model, aren't he? He's going to have a way of playing, but it'll be attacking football, and, you know, good luck to him.
If he can get the team playing the way he used to play, it'll be very exciting to watch Wales play. Because that was high press, high intensity, aggressive, passionate, but also a bit of quality as well. So be happy with that, mate. Also, that weekend is UFC 304, just very quickly, which features Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad, Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blade, Paddy's
I will be coming back for, because it's in Manchester. So I'll be doing Splott Friday, Manchester Saturday.
What a weekend, mate. Mate, I just realised that my buddy Arnold Allen is fighting on that card as well. So a couple of people I know as well, so that's good.
It's going to be mad that as well, because I'm sure
Makayev is fighting as well.
I'm sure they're sticking to American time.
They are. It's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of how can I put this? Colourful faces coming out there at 5-6 in the morning.
Yep. So you got
is it a co-op or is it the MEN?
I'll tell you now.
Is that the co-op? Yeah, they're coming out in Bezic. 5 in the morning.
Jesus. Yeah. So on the prelims, you've got Christian Duncan. But then you got that's been cancelled actually. You've got Modestas Bukauskas, who's a good friend of mine, coached Danny Batten. You've got Oban Elliott, who's the Welshman from just up the road from myself, another person who I know pretty well. Nathaniel Woods, Molly McCann, and then you go into the main card and you've got Arnold Allen, who's been on the podcast several times. Very, very much like him a lot. Paddy the Baddie. Everybody knows Paddy, but he's also been on the podcast a couple of times. Mohamed Makayev and Tom Aspinall, and of course Leon Edwards in the main event. So it is the only person really missing from that, from my point of view as a British or a Welsh MMA fan, is Jack Shaw. If Jack Shaw was on that card, that would almost be the perfect card for me, because it's literally full of people who I either know or have been on the podcast and I'm familiar with as well. So that's kind of cool. That's going to be a hell of a weekend, that is. Gee. Friday, Splott. Saturday, UFC. Beautiful. It's great to see.
Sunday, Marriott Golf. Bosh, what a weekend.
Yeah, maybe I should come to Manchester for Saturday. Just do a bit of a weekend of it.
I'll still have 5 weeks off.
Oh. Yeah, you know what you've got to do in your 5 weeks, though, mate. You've got to make up. You've got to get all these guests going for the gigs with guests.
No, I'm on it. Don't worry about it.
I've got some plans. Some of the discussions I had this week about potential podcast guests is exciting, and I wish I could spoil the surprise for everyone. But also members earlier on today had the Joe Ledley vlog from behind the scenes from that event, and we got the Willie Boland shows coming out next week. So we got all sorts of good stuff. Rhodri Giggs, it's a pleasure as always, my friend. I will see you on Thursday for the podcast, but I will see you next Friday in Splott. In a bit.